Or call it the man that have the power of everlasting dominion. Say it that way. The man that have the power. Please, I want to tell you a secret that will touch your life too much. And I will like just like about 2-3 persons to keep a seed on the altar to appreciate God for what I'm about to tell you. And if you like sharing messages, get ready to share. Jesus, yes,
come there's no
Now, if you look at Revelation chapter 10, verse 1 and 2, Revelation chapter 10. The book of Revelation, I want to read 2 verses of Revelation.
And I saw another mighty angel come down from heaven, clothed with a cloud. A rainbow was upon his head, and his face was as to the sun, and his feet as pillars of fire. And he had in his hand a little book.
The Bible says, John said, at isolation of Patmos, I met a mighty angel that came down from heaven. He said, his wears was cloud. His crown was rainbow. His face was like sun. Don't call it preaching. His feet was like pillar of fire. And then he had a book open. And then he set his feet upon the sea, right foot, and left foot upon the earth. Verse 3 is continue to clear it. Please, there is something I didn't tell you, but I want you to, as I am talking to you, be jealous of your life. Try and have respect for your life. Small respect. There are two things I want you to know. Number one, there are things God will not show some people. Number two, there are some things God will not allow some people to understand. Two things. There are some things some people must not understand. And there are some things some people must not have eyes to see. That is why there are things some people must not have. And there are opportunities some people must not enjoy. So God is not a generalized personality, because he's controlled by jealousy and reason. If you look at verse 3 of chapter 10 of the book of Revelation, he said, and he will cry with a loud voice as when a lion roareth, and when he cries, 7 thunders
uttered their voices.
Number 4, and when 7 thunders had uttered their voices, I was about to write.
And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, seal up those things with the 7 thunders uttered, and write them not.
Number 5.
And the angel which I saw stand upon the sea and upon the earth lifted up his hand to heaven.
Thank you. Now, this angel is the last angel because the angel represents 4 things that only that angel can represent. Number 1, the angel represents himself. Number 2, the angel represents God. I mean, Lion of Judah. Number 3, the angel represents living word. How many have I mentioned? No. Number 1, the angel represents himself. Number 1, the angel represents the Lion of Judah. The angel represents living word. And then God and Lion of Judah is not the same. The angel represents God, and then represent Lion of Judah, and then represent word, and then represent word of vengeance, and then the angel represent himself, and then the angel represent a man. I mean, represent a full man, a man that have capacity to represent God in the fullness. Please hear this. Hear this. There are certain virtues that God must not give to men after they are born. That means such virtue is not made subject to impartation. Before I go on something I want you to know, one of the books I want to reprint is Interpreting the Move of God Through Books. It's over 12 years. And I have never made another book on books. But I want somebody, one of the blessings I want to give you in this meeting is that I want Yahweh to help you himself to understand the power in books. There are certain foundational culture that a family must inculcate in their system before they can talk about prosperity. Let me say it again. I said there are certain values, backgrounds must inculcate in their value system before they can think of prosperity. For some families lack some valuable, some important values in their system, and they're talking about prosperity. They will not prosper. They are joking. Reading and education must be inculcated in family value systems for eternal glory. That means if you're here, don't allow somebody in your family to be less than a graduate in 2026. And there are certain courses that sharpen intelligence more than others quickly. Like if you go to study law, if somebody studies law and is a fool, then it's unforgivable. You see, because the course law introduce you to argument as early as possible. There is no lawyer that doesn't see. They don't call it discernment, but all the courses that are involved in law has capacity to interpret the mind. That is why God is a judge. Because the judgment capacity of God compels God to separate wheat from tares. So because separation is part of throne, it's an important part of throne activities. So when God is sitting upon the throne as a judge, the first thing that comes to his mind is to separate the wheat from tares, sheep from goat. Sheep from goats. Now, don't joke with a mind that was trained quickly to think. If you look at chapter 10, verse 1 of the book of Revelation, the Bible says, chapter 5:1. 5:1.
And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside, sealed with 7 seals.
Wait, do you know why he's carrying the book? The book contains the eternal value of the life of God. The story. It's a book that when you take it and you read, you will know God. Look at how I'm preaching from Joseph. Look at how I'm talking about David. As if that was there. I'm talking about them because it was documented. So, the story brings me into that past. As if that was there. Maybe somebody hear what I said. I said the story bring me into that past. One of the days, somebody was telling me about my mother. Not even in Nigeria. So I asked her, I said, how do you know about Mama? She mentioned my book. I think that is what the book on top. I made a book. It says just a two. See you at the top or something top. Huh? What is the book? Huh? You can make it to the top, yes. So I tell stories. So the person said, the story, you told Mama's story in the book. There are writers I've never met. I read their story from books. So God doesn't joke with facts that are documented. In fact, wait a minute. If you look up, I will give you this. I don't know what I should even tell you. If the Lion of Judah is a King of kings and Lord of lords for the third millennium that will last for 1,000 years, the only chance he has, not two chances, is to document his story in a book. I said to do what? Okay, you can make it to the top. That's the book. You can, if you like, you can order it from E. Thank you, Kennedy. You can order it from the e-book. God, it's exhausted. Long time. Now, when God wants to save an information for coming generations, he must document it. If you are writing book and you write the story of your family, I will come into your family without going there with you. As you're talking it, you bring me you bring me into your village from the story. I say you bring me immediately. So if there's anything to buy for your family, discreetly, is books. Start a new buying of necessary books. Don't forget, we can use planning to end poverty. That's on your paper. I say we can use gradual planning to end. Only the mother of Beckhausen was having job with the rich. She transported value from the quarters of rich men to her children, and Bekassim became neurosurgeon. So if it was copied, start. God gave you children, you are blessed already. You can't allow them to waste. Bring a tradition, a culture that must involve reading. That must involve building. That must involve continuous impartation. This is something I want to, one of the reasons I brought this heading is touching me. Let me land in it. Let me land in it. God waited for Joseph to become a new man. To become a new man. A man that has taken another form to be able to buy Egypt. He was not interested in buying Egypt until he took a new form. Moses didn't go to Egypt until he became a god. Jesus didn't announce the messianism of suffering servant until he became one with God. Now, the first thing that book achieved was to change the image of that man, of a man, into that description in 10:1 of Revelation. There was a description. There was something that man became. The angel in 10:1 of Revelation used to be a man. But book helped him to possess qualities that look like God's qualities. Book enabled him. That is why he didn't just take the book, he opened it. Open means he got busy with it. The easiest way to correct people, to help people grow up, apart from talking to them, is to give them book. And be patient. When people see the difference between who they are now and who they should be, they are blessed. Let me say, George, have I blessed you much? I say when people see the difference between who they are now and who they should be, when they see the gap, they are blessed already. Because when they see that gap, they will make effort to start closing it. Don't forget, destiny is not merciful. I say what? No, destiny is not merciful. No. The expectation of destiny cannot be diverted. That means if there is a form you must take for a particular seat, if you don't take that form, you can't sit on the seat. That dominion, that particular dominion, must not be executed by that man, except the man take that form. That man have to take that form. I told you that somebody said that who knows how Lagos Army will be in 5-10 years. And while I was waiting, she told me why the camp should be awesome. Human value. Human value. What I have become. So, what has book made out of you? I want to read one verse of the Bible before I go on. In 10:7 of the book of Hebrews. Every day I will talk Hebrews, I will talk Revelation, I will talk Matthew, I will talk Ephesians. And why are they not talking about us? Why? I talk about Abraham, I talk about Paul. Why are they not talking about Nande, about Carlo, about Okafor, about Amarachuku? Why? Why? It is because of the torture of valuelessness. Now the people's mind are set on valueless things. Somebody said, I don't want to suffer. What do you, excuse me, what has accomplishing eternal purpose to do with suffering? What has to get busy with God want you, what to get busy with what God wants you to do? What has that to do with suffering? What has staying with the course of your life? I mean CAUSE. What has that to do with suffering? Why do you want to be like another person? And God loves you in a way that He chose destiny for you, and allow others to choose their own, and you still want to copy something that is perishable. Why? The small discipline He brought into your life is now a burden. Has He really abandoned you? Or is the part of fire and the part of cold, is it the same thing? Are there not people who are born to keep the legacy of God? And should you not be fanned if you want to look like God? Is fanning you abandoning you? Is putting fire on you to bring the best from you, is it really abandonment? Why do you want to take something that God denied you? And does God give everybody the same thing? Give those in love everything. Has He given me children? Has He given me a wife? Has He given me houses? Am I not happy? I will never take anything God didn't give me. For what? Is it because everybody wants to be ordinary? There are two things I want to share on date before it's something I want to share on date. I have seen one of them. Something terrible. Is it really one? I thought it's something. Okay, let me start sharing this. I said the angel of death is the spirit of greed and distractions. Kennedy, wait. Don't announce it yet. Remove it. I will come to it. God hides from men what they should know when He wants to kill them. That's what I want to share on. God hides from men what they should know when He wants to kill them. All day Akachugu Akaraka